Hey guys, it's time to do a speed test comparison between the HTC 10 versus the Huawei P9. Now the P9 comes with a refreshed Kirin 955 chipset, of course, one step ahead of the Huawei Mate 8. And I did some speed tests of this phone. I'm really impressed with this HTC 10 comes with Snapdragon 820. So let's start this off with booting both of these two phones up at the same time. Here we go. Okay, interesting stuff. So we got 4 gigs of RAM on the HTC 10 with the Snapdragon 820, and I have this 3 GB RAM variant of the Huawei P9. You can get the 4 GB RAM variant, which cost a little bit more, I think, maybe $80 or $90. So let's see here. So definitely faster boot up on the Huawei P9. And HTC boy will take some time, so let's see here, and we're starting. There we go. So I'm just gonna quickly unlock it. Boom. And you can see that everything is closed up in the background. So, and I can just quickly check that both phones are connected, should be connected to the same Wi-Fi network. So okay, so starting off with the Temple Run 2 application, or I should say a game. Here we go. So I like to start off opening up these games, because they really test out the true multitasking power, when I'm doing the RAM management test. So you can see that the P9 definitely faster here, no doubt about that. Pretty cool performance. HTC 10, slow boy. And I'm just gonna go back on these both phones, and let's go ahead and load up the Subway Surfer application. Here we go, that most of the people play, and you can see again the P9 pulling ahead. Damn, I'm impressed by the speed. And again, both phones have 5.2-inch screen size, but the resolution on the P9 is 1080p, while the resolution on the HTC 10 is Quad HD. So again, HTC has to do a little bit more work compared to just a normal 1080p display, so do keep that in mind. Next off will be Smash Hit. Here we go. And again, it is faster on the P9, no doubt about that. Let's go back and open up Gun Fu Do, Stickman. Faster on the P9, no doubt about that. Next off will be GTA San Andreas, a big game. And just gonna skip through this stuff offline. Okay, we're just gonna resume at the same time. Here we go. Okay, so I think the HTC 10 finished that off just slightly faster there. So we're just gonna go back and load up another application. This time, this is going to be Instagram. Here we go. And you can see the P9 finished off first with loading the latest feed. We're just gonna go back and load up Play Store. And you can see that both are pretty much similar in loading up the full apps feed. Now we're going to be loading some system-based applications. So settings seems to be pretty much equal. Let's open up clock. Pretty much similar. Let's open up camera. Okay. Here we go. And you can see faster on the HTC 10. So definitely I can feel that the P9 does outperform the HTC or like Snapdragon 820 device here. Of course, I do have the LG G5, so things will be interesting when I'm going to be doing a speed test with that phone. So that was the apps opening test. Let's move towards the browser test. And now we can go ahead and load some websites. Okay, WWE.com, wrestling fans. Here we go. Boom. And And the Huawei P9, wow, blazing speed there. PhoneArena.com is the next website. Here we go. And you can see that again, the Huawei P9 definitely faster. Let's open up this article. Pretty much similar. And both phones are still loading this page. And of course, it's a big website. Lots of stuff down here, so they're probably going to take some time to load the full website. We're just going to move on to load up apple.com in both phones, and here we go. And you can see, I don't know, P9 is performing really good, faster there. Next off will be techradar.com. Okay, same thing with this one. Here we go. You can see pretty much similar performance there. So let's go back and do a multitasking test of these phones and see the fun part. Okay, so Temple Run 2 first game, and you can see it opened up nicely on both phones. No issue whatsoever. Let's go ahead and load up Subway Surfer. Wow, no refresh. Let's see, we do have Smash Hit. And there we go, a refresh on the Huawei P9. So HTC made a comeback with the multitasking. Of course, 4 gigs of RAM on this one. So what you call Gunfu Stickman 2, no issue whatsoever. GTA San Andreas is gonna be epic, no issue whatsoever. So next off will be Instagram, loaded up nicely on both phones. So you can see only one refresh with the Huawei P9, but definitely HTC 10 is a real performer when it comes to multitasking. And you can see that P9 3GB RAM variant performs really well. Just one refresh, it's pretty good, you know. It's just up to you. If you want like bigger storage, then you can buy the 4GB RAM variant, but just for better multitasking, it's not going to be that much noticeable. So let's do a fingerprint reader test on both phones. It's going to be a fingerprint reader speed test. So let's see here. So I'm just going to try to put everything, or like fingers at the same time. Here we go. Okay. Let's do it one more time. Let's do it again. So if I'm not wrong, the HTC phone actually shows the lock screen first. Again. So the HTC phone does shows you the lock screen first because it wakes up the device. While on the P9, you just put your finger like this, it just straights up, unlocks. So that's why it feels faster. You can notice lock screen and then unlock. So yeah, definitely slightly faster on the P9. Let's try out by waking both phones up here. Here we go. And now they feel almost equal, but if you do it like this, you're gonna feel the P9 unlocking just slightly faster because it shows the lock screen. You know, the HTC first wakes up the device. You see like this, and then it unlocks. So again, not that much of a big difference, but there you go, speed test battle between the HTC 10 and the Huawei P9. If you guys enjoyed it, give it a thumbs up, and also why not subscribe to this channel for future speed test videos, and I will see you guys in my next one. Peace out.